Hey everyone, welcome to a new video, welcome to my channel. My name is Maika. Welcome to Floating in Dreams, which is my hobby YouTube channel where I like to talk about all things fashion and makeup. And in this makeup related video, I am going to be chatting to you about all of the new Essence products that have just been released for the fall winter season of 2021. So I have a lot of products here for you, so let's just get started. So before we dive into this video, I do have to mention that there isn't quite a full face of new Essence products here. They just didn't seem to have released that many products this time round. However, I do have enough Essence products to do a full face of Essence. So I am going to be substituting in other products so that I have a full face of Essence here for you. However, the products that aren't new, I will just skip over. I'll just apply them sort of like off camera and then come back to you. And I'll make sure to link any products that I already have reviews on in a description box down below. I very randomly already spotted these products at Cosmetic for Less, which is a German website that I can buy Essence and Catrice products from. They are an official stockist, and when I purchased these things, there was no information yet on the Dutch Essence website, so that's something you have to bear in mind. Maybe there are other products, but I couldn't find any information on this yet. I just spotted these products on the website and I decided to buy them because I have a pretty good grasp of what is new from Essence and what isn't. So I decided to buy all of the things that I didn't have yet. Plus there are a couple of newer Essence products that I haven't showcased anywhere yet that I thought I could rope into this video because Essence came out with liquid multichrome shadows a couple of weeks ago, and I was able to get my hands on those as well. So I have a lot here, but actually some of it is skincare, which, in case you don't know, Essence and Catrice in like the past year or two have ventured into the realm of skincare as well. Very affordable. I think they seem to be focusing quite a bit on like natural ingredients and those kind of things. So I'm not going to start off with makeup today. I'm going to start off by doing my skincare. I've cleansed my face, but that's it because they've come out with the Hello Good Stuff Herbal Face Mist. Calm and clear with chamomile, green tea, and tea tree. Not sure whether tea tree is all that calming, but I've heard mixed reviews. I tend to just use that as a spot treatment if I need it. But yeah, this is the, does it say anything about what it should do? Use it for a hydrated, calmed, and clear skin feel. So I actually like to do this step in the morning when I do my skincare routine. I like to use a hydrating face mist, usually just water with a couple of add-ons, let's be real here, to just spritz my face, and then I like to go in with a serum, and I feel that sort of helps with some extra moisture to be drawn into my skin. So I'm going to start us off with this, and then I have another skincare product for you. So it says to shake it up. And I already sort of swatched everything before I sat down to film this video. And the mister on this wasn't the best, so fingers crossed. It smells very pleasant. Does this have fragrance in? That's a good question. It does have, yeah, it does have some fragrance. So for people who are sensitive to that, you may want to stay away from this. And to be quite fair, what I've already noticed when I looked at some of the ingredients list is that with these products, there seems to be a lot of like water and glycerin and like cheaper ingredients at the top of the list. And then you don't get these like active ingredients that it boasts on the packaging until like halfway down. But this one does have tea tree, like tea tree leaf water quite high up, as well as the chamomile. So that seems promising. The green tea, I can't really find that quickly. But yeah, so this sounds okay, I guess. It smells pleasant. It's quite fresh. And I actually am pretty close to running out of my face mist. So I might just be able to put that one into my actual skincare routine and try it out some more. And then as my skin is still a little bit wet, I always like to go in with a serum of sorts, usually something with hyaluronic in. And this is the Vitamin Balm Face Serum with vitamin B5 and niacinamide. Isn't niacinamide also a vitamin B derivative? I'm not too sure. Like, I'm not a skincare expert, so I'm not sure. This is from their Fresh and Fit line, and it says that it's hydrating and smoothing. And I love a bit of niacinamide in my skincare. It's an ingredient that my skin just loves. Again here, yeah, oh wow, niacinamide is the second ingredient on the list, so that sounds okay. Glycerin, it does have sunflower seed oil, and here as well some fragrance all the way at the bottom. And then it says B5, and niacinamide illuminates the skin while minimizing the appearance of pores for a healthy looking complexion. So I'm going to shake this up, and then let me see if I can show you this. So it just has that pipette, and what I just like to do with serums is that I just kind of put it in my hands and then just apply it like this. And we're gonna have to wait a little bit for this to sink in before we can do the next step. Okay, so this feels quite fresh and hydrating as well on my skin. Of course, it's the first time I'm using it, so I can't really say anything about the effectiveness. It feels pretty nice. It's very liquidy going on, but like a first step like this in a skincare routine, I think it can be quite nice. Next up, I'm going to apply the Cica face cream, soothing and moisturizing with Centella Asiatica extract. And this is a moisturizer, I think, yes. 99% a natural ingredient, and it's supposed to be used as daily facial care as well as a primer under foundation. I'm going to be using it as a moisturizer. Here I do feel that the actual like Centella Asiatica that it's boasting about, that's really not until like 2/3 of the ingredient list here, but it seems to have quite a lot of good ingredients in here. Again, a little bit of perfume, but even though these other two products also contain fragrance, I didn't find them like overpowering in the fragrance that's in there. This, like, because it's orange, you might expect it to like smell very citrusy, and it doesn't, so I do really appreciate it. It's a very gentle scent. It's nothing too overpowering. And this, I'm very curious to see how this will go, because it seems pretty thin. It's not runny or anything like that, but I like a rich moisturizer because I have pretty dry skin, so I need my moisturizers to be quite, you know, in there. Oh, this smells pleasant. Again, not overly fragrant, just skincare, you know, nothing like, you know, roses or anything like that. And it is, you know, thick enough. It also has a little bit of stickiness, so that's why I do see why they say that this can be used as a primer. You definitely don't need an extra primer if you were to also go in with this. I am quickly going to be priming my lids because this is not from Essence but from Revolution, and I'll be right back. Okay, so my skin looks a little bit red around my nose, but I usually get that from just rubbing my face, which is why I try to avoid that as much as possible. But I do want to go in with an actual, well, primer. Again, it's more of a skincare product here because it's also from their Hello Good Stuff line, but this is the primer serum. So that's why I figured that this could make an even better primer. This is the Hydrate and Plump with blueberry and squalane, 95% natural ingredients, and it says here that it's got squalane and glycerin to hydrate and plump the skin. So again, this could be used as a serum. You could also use it as a primer, I assume. Here you do get a couple of other ingredients. The squalane is again pretty high up. So I hope this works as good as a primer as the other stuff, because else I should have used it in the other, like in another order. But with skincare, you know, usually it just, as long as you've got pretty good skincare on, I find it works well enough under makeup. And this is blue, as you can see, and it's quite watery, like the other serum. But this, again, do you see that? I'm not sure if you can see, but it's got grip, because when I press my fingers together like that, there is a little bit of like stickiness there, and that's what you want your primer to do, so that it grips onto your foundation. Oh, this feels really nice. Now Now again, this is gonna have to like sit and sink in for just a little bit before I can really go in with the rest of my foundation. I do think that again, this product also has that like grippy feeling. So there is a little bit of stickiness now to my face. So maybe not the best to use by itself, but definitely underneath things, I think this primer serum can work. So I think this actually makes for a better primer than this. I've had that in the past. Good Molecules did a product called the priming moisturizer that I tried, and I ended up using it as a moisturizer because I felt it didn't do enough as a primer. So I might feel like this in the end about the Cica face cream as well. I think I'll just use this as a moisturizer as I just did and try and see if I can roll this into a Shop My Stash at some point in the next couple of months and try this out a bit more. I forgot to say this in the intro, but since we're still waiting for my skin to like absorb all of these products, I might as well tell you right now, but I will be coming to you with some follow-up videos after I've tried everything. So there are more products here than I can possibly put onto my face in one single video. My skin would freak out just a little too much. So I do have a couple of lip products that I will be showcasing you in another video in more thoroughly, showing you all of the shades. And I will be coming back to you as well, like I always do with these videos, when I've tried all of the Essence and Catrice products that I've put in these videos as a first impression. A few months later, when I've tried a lot, I like to come back here and I want to give you the full lowdown of how I actually feel about those products after trying them for real. So with skincare, however, my turnover time isn't as quick as with makeup products because those I really want to use up before I can actually say anything about it, because my skin isn't just dry, it's also quite sensitive. And I've had experiences in the past where I used skincare for like 2 weeks and I was fine, and then after a certain point in time my skin no longer liked it. So that's why I don't review a skincare product until I've used it up fully, but I always review skincare on my blog, usually on Fridays, like every week or so I have a skincare blog post with a review. So the skincare products may have to go into those blog posts, because I don't think that by the time November rolls around, when I would want to do a video on all of these products to update you, that I will have tried those skincare products enough, because my skin is so sensitive, I cannot change up my skincare routine regularly enough to really be able to talk about a lot of products, because my skin will hate me. So that's why I don't do a lot of content about skincare, because I need to be very careful with what I try and what I put on. So I do like trying out skincare, it's very slow going, and it's at a snail's pace, and social media doesn't like that. So if you want to know more about these skincare products, then definitely check out my blog, because I think it will be better for me to do that. I'm terribly sorry if you want to know like ASAP, but with skincare, you need more than a first impression, just like with makeup, really. So that's why I always like to come back on here. And in the meantime, it's also on the blog, where when I try these products out a bit more, where I will be reviewing them for you as well in more detail with all the swatches and looks, and I always try to make a whole spiel out of it. So definitely in the meantime, check out my blog, and then I'll come to you with at least another lipstick video and that follow-up on both the Essence and Catrice products that have come out for fall winter 2021, sometime November, maybe December at the latest. But I definitely want to get that video up before the year is out. It's time for foundation though, because now everything has sunken in enough. This is the Fresh and Fit foundation with the vitamin complex containing vitamin E and niacinamide again. This is in the lightest shade, 05 Fresh Porcelain. And I'm not entirely sure about the shade. I remember owning this foundation before and really liking it. And at the time I also had the lightest shade, which is why I went with that. But I feel like with some Essence and Catrice foundations, it can be tricky to find your shade. So I hope I did the right thing. Maybe I should have gone up one shade, I don't know, because they have been trying to be better about creating more inclusive shade ranges. However, I feel they've been expanding more so towards the fair end of the spectrum and not so much in the deep end of the spectrum. So I really feel that Essence and Catrice can still really work on that shade inclusivity. I forgot how many shades this came in, because it was just like per shade that it was listed. I didn't really have an overview of how many shades there were. As I mentioned, I only found this on a website and purchased them straight away so I could get this video out ASAP. But yeah, so this foundation did already exist. However, I had to take the sticker off to be able to swatch it. But this is now vegan. So like Catrice, Essence is now reformulating things to be vegan. So the line is already cruelty-free. Both Essence and Catrice are, but they are now also actively trying to reformulate products to make the entire line more vegan. So that's something you're looking for. That is something that they are doing. And also with this like skincare, they definitely like are trying to do this whole like no silicones, no this, no that, better for the environment, yada, yada, yada. Whether it actually is, I don't know. I'm always very, like, I always think there's a lot of greenwashing going on in this world when it comes to big corporations making money. And I think that Essence and Catrice are sort of doing that a little bit too. However, this foundation I remember loving. I decluttered it only because I had another Essence foundation, which is the Pretty Natural foundation that I just ended up finding a much better shade in and that I ended up liking a lot more. But I kept this foundation around for years as the only Essence foundation to have on hand because for a very long time Essence just didn't do my shade because everything was orange. And this, ooh, that's a bit much. But I will just show you this going onto my skin. It is a little bit runny, but it is quite thick. It's got a creamy texture to it. So for the winter time, oh yeah, this is going to be a little bit too light. Well, if I blend it into my neck, it will be okay, I'm sure. But I remember this being very hydrating. I really loved it on my dry skin. So I'm glad that they reformulated it now. This does, unlike the skincare, this does have a good bit of fragrance in that. So if that's not your thing, then definitely stay away. And it's very yellow, which I don't love. I remember that being an issue as well with the shades in the original lineup. They were very yellow, which is why I ended up keeping the Pretty Natural because that had a more like neutral and pinky undertones in their lineup as well. Let's see how this blends into the skin. It shears out really well, so I actually feel that it's actually like bang on. Like if you look at my neck, like my neck is always super pale, which is why I need such pale foundation shades. And I don't have much of a jawline, so if you then see it from the side, it looks a bit weird. I need it to really match. Okay, so this settles down really quickly because I can sort of see where the foundation stopped, where I sort of applied it. So this may not be the best to use with a sponge and like dotting it around your face. I'm actually going to try just for the sake of the video. Is this the brush? Yes. I'm gonna see what happens if I apply this with a brush. So I'm going to see what it does here on my forehead because I feel that that really doesn't have a lot of coverage. So I'm just going to take a little bit on the back of my hand and then just dab it with a brush, because then I can really buff it in. Yeah. Okay, much better result with a brush with this one. So maybe good to just go in with a brush with this one, because I feel you really need to buff it rather than like stamp it around. And this is a Zoeva brush, by the way. This is my favorite foundation brush. They're 104 Buffer. I haven't tried a foundation in a long time that really needed a brush for it to work. Oh well. And now we're getting into the section of the video where I have a lot of Essence products, but they're all tried and true. Some of these are currently in my Shop My Stash as well. So I'm just going to do concealer, face powder, blush, bronzer, highlighter, and brows, pretty much until we get to eyeshadow. So I'll just speed you through it with a bit of music under it so you can still see the products going on. I'll list everything down below and link you to any reviews that I have because these are tried and true products. So I'm not gonna chat about these for too long. So we're going to talk about eyeshadow. I've got a lot to unpack, so let's get started. Yeah, a lot to unpack because I've got new eyeliner, new single shadows. There are new mini palettes, and like I mentioned, some liquid multichrome. So that's what I want to start you off with, because I'm not sure I'm actually going to be able to put these on my lids in this video. I have had these for a few weeks and I haven't had the time yet to even play around with these. So, and they make me a little bit nervous, and I'll tell you why. Because I feel that every single time I've swatched these, I get a different result. So sometimes they seem to go on opaque and other times they don't. But let me tell you first what these are. These are the Chrome On Duochrome Liquid Eyeshadow. They're not duochrome, they are multichrome. I have all 5 shades. This is 03 Chromatic, Chrome Over Baby 04. We have Chromazing 05, Chromology, which is 02, and then we have 01 Oh My Chrome here in these shades. So the shades are sort of like what you can expect from multichromes, is that you get like a bluish purpley shifting one, you get like a blue green like rusty one, you get that, but then one that skews more green. Then you get this like oil slick colored ones. So one that's more like blue, purple, red, and one that's more like green, purple. So some of these shift a little bit more than others, I have to say. But I just thought I could swatch these out for you so that if you were looking into these, that you could have a look at these. Because where some multichromes retail for 25 euros, these retail for $3.99 a pop. So this is what the first one looks like. This is Oh My Chrome. And now it goes on opaque, but what I have found is that if I try to build it up or blend it or manipulate it in any way, that it shears out a lot. So that's why these I don't want to use live on camera, because they're just, and I don't think the shades really go with anything else I've got going on here. It sort of is blue and purple. It looks a bit more interesting perhaps in the tube than it does once it's applied. And like I said, I do feel these are quite sheer and I find them difficult to manipulate every time I've played with these. 02 Chromology looks like, ooh. And here you can see that red to gold to a green, I think, quite well. Like this one shifts a lot more and a lot more clearly than the first one. And then 03 Chromatic. This is probably one of my favorites because it has this like greenish blue sort of feel to it. And now it looks gold and then it looks green. I'm not sure if you can see, but this one shifts quite a bit as well. Now that I'm swatching these live on camera, they seem to be doing really well. Like when I first got these in, they seemed really sheer, so maybe they just needed to dry out a little bit. 04 Chrome Over Baby, oh Beauty, sorry. That's that one. So it's got the purple and then it has the green gold sort of look to it. I'm not sure if you can see that. So really, so far, only the first one doesn't really show up very shifty. And then 05 Chromazing. Where to put it? I think I can put it here. And that looks green on camera, and then it shifts to a purple, which you can't see on camera, but I can definitely see the purple in real life. So I think that the one, probably because the blue and the purple are closer together, so that's why that first one doesn't really show up that purple. But the other ones all seem to shift quite nicely. But yeah, these are all looking pretty well now that I've swatched them again, so I should just be brave enough and just perhaps use one of these. So I have other eyeshadow to play with though in today's videos. I'm not sure if I'm going to get to these in these looks, especially because they're multichromes. I like to go for something super basic usually and then just a multichrome all over the lid, because I feel that that's the way they work best, and I've got quite some colorful eyeshadow here actually today. But before we get to the eyeshadow, let's talk about these liners, because they've come out with a new line of long-lasting eye pencils, and I picked up 2 shades, the brown and the green, and these look really lovely actually. They're very creamy, they're a twist-up pencil, and I definitely think the brown one, or the green one, depending on what palette I go for, Like, they're pretty. The green is perhaps, well, I just completely have the wrong angle on those swatches. Hold on. Let me do this right. So there you have those two swatches. The olive, the green one doesn't have any shimmer to it. The brown has a little bit of a sparkle running through. It's called sparkling brown, and I had expected there to be more sparkle. So I feel it's a little not sparkly enough for my liking. And then they've come out with new single shadows as well. These are the Soft Touch eyeshadows in Secret Woods and Eternity. So we've got a dark green that I was hoping could be similar to the green that I bought just recently from Catrice. But this, I don't really like the color of. I mean, it's got good quality, it's got good pigmentation, but I don't really like this shade. It's very sort of lackluster, I find. However, this shade, Eternity, it looks like a taupe. But what if I told you that this is a dirty lilac taupe with a bit of mauve? And that has the shine and intensity that I was hoping these shadows would have. So I feel that with these singles, they may not all be created equal, but this is a one and done shadow for me, like for sure. Like I love this. It reminds me a lot of this dirty lilac-y shade that you get in the Viseart Violette Étendue. Like it's one of my favorite shades in that palette. It's perhaps a little less vibrant, a little murkier than that, but this, you know that I love those kind of shades, so I had to show you these as well. So that's a quick swatch on those. But what I want to play around with is some of these. They've released 4 new eyeshadow palettes. They're mini palettes with 6 shades, and it comes in a bronze, in a blue, in a green, and in a mauve. So when I was looking at these, I thought we could perhaps do a look with the mauve tone shadow and then pull this one in with a bit of that brown liner. That was the look I was sort of going for in my head, but then these multi-chromes don't really go with it because they're all quite, like they don't. If I were to do a look with the green, I could perhaps make it work, but it doesn't really go with the lilac, I'm sure. But let me show you these real quickly. This is Bronze This Way. And by the way, I've already seen American YouTubers showing these palettes on their channels. So it could very well be that some of these products are already out in the States. I have no way of telling because I don't have a VPN and I can't access Ulta. So definitely check out either Essence or Ulta to see if you can already buy these. But this is what the palette looks like. And as warm toned as the packaging looks, you might expect this to be super vibrant and orange. It is still warm toned, but I feel it's quite wearable warm tones. So let me give a quick swatch to some of these shades. This shade in the middle feels a little tough, but the pigmentation is pretty on point. So I'm happy with that. Can I show you that here? Yeah. Put this right there. So that's pretty decent pigmentation. The one that disappointed me the most just based on a swatch is Ice Ice Baby, which is the blue one, but it doesn't have a lot of blues. It's 4 grays with 2 blues that are almost identical. And this blue, when I swatched it, that's not a great shade. I was able to build it up. Like, it's okay, but it feels very powdery, but the shimmers, like, are you for real? Like, so some of these shades are perfectly fine, but this I will have to play around with a bit more because it could very well be that with a brush they build up just fine and there's no issue. That could very well be. The green one really impressed me. This is what I would have wanted the Huda Beauty Wild Python Obsession palette to be, because that is not green enough for my liking. I didn't pick that up. A lot of people have been asking me, but the Python one, those browns need to go. It needs to be dark greens. What does Essence do? This is all green, save for this. Well, it's a brown, but it's got a green undertone, which I think is really smart. And this is Essence eyeshadow quality. And again, these are like what? $4.99? That's that shimmer. That's that forest green matte. And that's that like golden olivey, like light olive kind of shade. So those are those. So you just see why I'm happy with these. And then last but not least, I like the Mauve It Mauve It. That's what this is called. And it's cool tone mauves. Especially this shade, this matte. Oh, instant gray transition shade. So I knew, oh, and then a cooler tone plum, and then this. Now you know why I want to play with this. If you know anything about me and my makeup tastes, then you know that this is my comfort zone. So that's what I want to play around with today. I don't want to faff around too much. That's my happy place right there. So I'm gonna test these all out, of course, and I'm gonna do looks with these and make sure I review them over my blog. I'm gonna put them in eyeshadow palette reviews that are coming up as well. So this is not the last time you'll be seeing these palettes, that's for sure. So yeah, lots going on in the eyeshadow department. So I'm gonna clean my arm off. I'm gonna do a look, like I mentioned, with a couple of these new things. And then we're gonna go and chat about some even more new things because it doesn't stop there. Right, so that's the eye look done, and I have to say I'm really impressed by these eyeshadows that I've used. So I'll tell you really quickly what I did. I used this matte in the crease just to set up a little bit of a base. Then I went in with this darker plum on the outer edge, and then I put this on the inner part of the lid. And especially this shade impressed me a lot because I only used a brush. I didn't wet it. Didn't do anything with it, and still you get this really nice vibrant shimmer, which I really appreciate. But I felt that the difference between the two shades was perhaps a bit stark. So that's when I went in with this Eternity shade from the singles that I showed you, and I just took a little bit on my finger and dabbed it right in the center of the lid, and that's that little bit of gray that you see there. And I think it really nicely bridges the gap between that darker purple and that lighter purple on the lid. I also used a little bit of this on the lower lash line, like right in the inner corner, just to add a little bit of something there. I ended up using these two shades on the lower lash line. So the gray is on the outer edge here, and then this purple is what you see most on the lower lash line. And I just used this matte cream shade to blend out the crease a little bit better. And this shade does have a bit of a purpley undertone. So it's not a straight up cream. It does have a hint of something lilac to it, which I think goes really well with this palette. These shades feel amazing. They play really well as that single. So I really liked it. Oh, and by the way, I did use that light shade a little bit in the inner corner. So I kind of wrapped it around to keep that lid shade going. And then I just used this eye pencil as a bit of a tight line to deepen things up a little bit more. So I think that that is a very pretty wearable look. I'm sorry I didn't use any of the multi-chromes, but I just feel that none of the shades really go with this palette. So now we're moving on to another new product, which is the Hydrating and Glow Multi-Use Spray. It says for face, body, and hair with coconut water. I'm gonna use this as a setting spray. I'm not sure if it's meant to be used as a setting spray because it doesn't really say what it's supposed to do. It just says that you can spray it on and that it's hydrating and glowy. It seems to have, do you see that milkiness? It seems to have not really sparkle to it, but some sort of shimmer running through it. So that's why I wanted to use this last. So let's see how this goes. Ooh. And on the packaging, it says it contains coconut water. You can smell the coconut. It's very coconutty. Again, fragrance probably. Yes, it has fragrance. Ooh, pooh, I do not like that at all. Ooh. It's like that very sort of Bath and Body Works kind of coconut kind of scent, if you know what I mean. Like if you have coconut scent in body care products, I'm not a fan. It is like really overly sweet coconut kind of scent. Not my favorite. Not sure I'll use that one up. I think that's gonna go into a declutter bin like straight away. That's not my jam. Not my jam at all. Sorry, Essence. I do have a new mascara to try. They came out with the Lash Princess Curl and Volume Mascara in the pink tube. I don't think I've seen this one before. However, by this time, I've lost track of how many Essence actually has done of these. The green one is my favorite, the one with the green packaging. So let's see what the brush looks like, because I haven't opened it yet. Ooh, it's got this like hourglass shaped wand, and that's usually for a volumizing mascara. Exactly what I want. So let me see how this goes. Oh, I quite like the effect this gives. Much better than that Catrice one that I tried last month, or last week. It feels like last month, but it was just last week that I sat down to film my Catrice overview. So there you have it. That's the eyes done. This is my kind of vibe. I love this kind of look. So for me, the eyes, Catrice did a good job last time as well. Essence has also stepped up their game because I haven't seen them do eyeshadow quality quite like this in a while. However, I still am very curious to see whether the 4 palettes are created equal. That blue one, well, it's more gray toned than blue, really. So that's a bit of a shame. But like we had quite a bit going on in the eye department, I also have quite a bit going on in the lip department. I'm going to start you off with the things I will not be showing you in today's video, because they've come out with 2 new lipstick lines. One is called the Hydrating Nude, and the other one is called the Cool Collagen Plumping Lipsticks. There's 3 shades in this one, and there's 5 in that Cool Collagen one. I will be, like I do for my Catrice video as well, I'm going to come to you with a separate video in September where I'm going to be showcasing all 8 of these lipsticks and putting them on. So right now, what I just want to do, I'm going to be showing you, I think this one. So this is 302 Hydrating Nude in the shade Heavenly. Just to show you what the texture is like. These are both sheer lipsticks that seem very hydrating. Like, do you just see it's not that pigmented, but I'm actually really into like these glossy lip balm kind of things. So if these are truly hydrating, which with Essence, it's not my favorite formula, but I thought this looked interesting and I really like that shade. It's sort of like my lips, but better. And then I have from the Cool Collagen, I have 203 My Advice. And these shades are all very nude heavy. So there aren't that many like colorful shades. And especially this feels really smooth when it goes on. So, and these do have a little bit more pigment. These can be built up. Whereas this feels more like a tinted balm. This is a bit more like, you know, sheer but buildable. So that's what those remind me of. So those are going to be featured in a future video, so hang tight. And what I want to show you today is a product that I never really use, which is lip liner. But they have come out with a new line of lip liners, and Essence lip liners are some of the best, most affordable lip liners on the planet. These are called the Soft and Precise Lip Pencil. I have 202 My Mind, where's the other one? 203 My Advice. So do you see that some of the names seem to be lining up with the Cool Collagen? I think. 303 Delicate and 302 Heavenly. So I think these shades sort of combine with the other ones, so that would be interesting. I believe when I swatch these, let me just swatch all of them real quickly. This is a bit more of a mauve tone. This is 202. And then we have, yep, 203, which is more peachy toned, a little darker. And then we have 302, which is Heavenly, which is a very pale nude. I'm not sure I'll be wearing that much. And then I have 303 Delicate, which is a bit more pink. So that's what those look like. Again, I have the intention of including these lip liners in that lipstick video, but for the sake of the video, which one was it again? Yeah, 203 My Advice. I'm going to put this on because it seems to be like the darkest one, and I'm going to top it up with one of their glosses. I got this as a gift with purchase when I ordered those Multichromes. This is their Shine 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 Wet Look Lip Gloss in Flirt Alert, and I thought the shade was quite flattering on me. So I'm just going to make a little lip liner combo here and see if these are actually soft as well as precise. You can sharpen these, by the way. They're not twist stops, they're regular pencils. So this is just a lip liner by itself, and it pulls a lot more peachy on me than I had expected. This is the more peachy shade, but it's got a lot of orange to it now that I've filled in my entire lips. So it's a good thing that I'm going to be topping it off with this mauve toned gloss, because that can save the day. Yeah, I feel that works a lot better on me. I should have perhaps gone for another shade, but I wanted to try this shade because I never really wear these kind of things. So yeah, that's it for this video. Those are all the products I wanted to chat about, right? Did I miss anything? No, I didn't miss anything. There was so much here. I was like, haha, and then these products that are new, products that are not new, help. All right, so that would be the finished look for today's video. As I mentioned, there are going to be a couple of follow-up videos that I'm going to be doing after I've tried these products a little bit more. I'm going to be featuring the eyeshadow palettes in my 10 palette review video, which I hope to have up in September or October. I'm not sure when I'll be able to feature these. I have that lipstick video coming, of course, and the grand follow-up where I go over all of the Essence & Catrice products and I lump all of those together and tell you what worked and what didn't. And the skincare is going to go over on the blog, as I already mentioned. So I really hope you enjoyed watching today's video. I hope it was helpful in letting you know what these Essence products can do. I'm super excited about the eyeshadow, that's for sure. And I'm just really happy that they've come out with some new stuff for me to try again. And yeah, thank you very much for watching today's video. Please give the video a thumbs up if you liked it. Subscribe to my channel if you'd like to see more by me. I make 3 new videos a week. However, I've got 1 more extra video coming for you on Saturday. And then on Sunday, I will be posting my eyeshadow palette collection video. So I hope you would like to stay tuned for all of that goodness. And then I hope to see you in my next video. Have a great day, everybody. Bye-bye.